Hey y'all, happy Friday, it's Friday, it's Friday. Let me see here if I can tag some people real quick. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. I don't know if that worked or not. I'm not necessarily a pro at this, but anywho. Hope y'all are having a good Friday so far. I wanted to talk today about gut health, and I wanted to talk about some homemade bone broth and why that relates to gut health. So, okay, first off, this whole group really revolves around gut health because gut health and our gut is really kind of our command center for everything. So it helps us digest our food. It helps us to weed out bad bacteria. It can even shift our mood. There's lots and lots of things that are related to our gut. Now, just a little bit about that. So, within the tissues of our gut, there is what's called the microbiome. Okay, I don't know if any of y'all, I'm sure there's plenty of y'all that's heard about your microbiome. Basically, that's made up of bacteria and yeast, viruses. It's a pretty complex ecosystem within our gut. And so the little microbes that make up that microbiome, they are what help regulate our immune system. They help us break down our vitamins and just all kinds of things. So everything that we eat, we put in our body, all of that affects our gut. Our lining of our gut is made up of collagen, and as you age, your collagen levels go down significantly. And so some of you probably take a collagen supplement. If you don't, you should. I'd be happy to put in the comments the one that I use. I typically just order mine off Amazon, and they have some, like I personally like Ancient Nutrition. If any of you have heard of Dr. Axe, love him. He is an amazing doctor to follow, either on Instagram, Facebook. He has a podcast called the Dr. Axe Show, which it's my favorite. I love it. He's so knowledgeable about all things gut health related, and hormones and all kinds of things. So, anyways, I typically will use his, and he has some that are flavorless, so you can mix it in with your coffee, or different, drinks, and you won't taste it. Or he has some that are flavored, and you can just mix it with water, drink it. Easy way to get some collagen. But bone broth is also excellent. It has exponentially more collagen than your typical just collagen powders, and quite a bit more nutrients. So with bone broth, and with that collagen, when you're drinking bone broth or your collagen supplements, what that does is it goes in and it helps build up. Here come my children, so just be prepared. They're outside playing in the water. Anyway, so that's going to help restore that gut lining that often is just getting thinner and thinner and thinner as you lose collagen and as that gut is compromised. So, all that to say, I've learned a ton about gut health over the years. I'm going to continue to dive deeper and deeper into it, but for today, I just kind of wanted to give basic. This is what I'm going to be talking about with gut health. All my recipes, all the supplements that I take, all those things are working to, restore the gut. So for years and years, all the things that I have put in my body, just from not eating clean, yes ma'am. Here's Landry. So all the food that we have nowadays is pumped full of, you guys know, preservatives, ingredients we can't even pronounce, even things that are marked organic or gluten-free doesn't necessarily mean that they are, or that that they're healthy. Oh, well, it must be healthy because it's gluten-free. Well, no, not really, because a lot of times those items are chock full of sugar and grains that have been so genetically modified that they're not even healthy anymore. And so what happens is with gluten-filled products, your more processed foods, your pastas, your breads, all the baked goods, all those things, gluten-filled. So gluten-filled products, grain products, and processed sugar, all of those things contribute to the amount of inflammation that is in our bodies. And every single one of us has an extreme amount of inflammation, whether you know it or not, just due to the food that we're eating. So for the majority, my family and I try to eat gluten-free, grain-free, and no processed sugar. Now, are we perfect? No. But we do our best. And over the years, I have found so many alternatives to where, you can still have things like pasta and bread in moderation that meet all three of those criteria. So throughout the course of time, I'm going to be sharing all those kind of things. But yeah, that was like a big explanation of all the things. So, hey Kayla. Anyways, so what I'm going to show you today is some bone broth. So bone broth is cheap, it's easy, and it is like a quick way to get some extra collagen in. Super, super good for your gut and restoring that gut lining. If any of you have leaky gut or autoimmune issues, anything like that, this is really good way to, another child is in. This is a really good way to restore that gut health. So I'm going to kind of tell you what I did. So I have got a pot here. I put a whole chicken. So I just go buy a raw whole chicken at the store, good quality. So I typically will buy like organic, free range, all the stuff. And then what I do is I will get a half a cup of Himalayan pink sea salt, and you'll pour it in, fill up your pot with water, stir it up, and then here is this chicken. I'm trying to not dump all the water. You're going to drop your chicken down in here, and then this is what's called brining. So you're going to brine this overnight and to do for the next day. You can actually brine it up to 48 hours, and I've done that. So you don't have to do this step, but in my opinion, like, it makes a huge, huge difference on just the flavor of the chicken and then the moisture of the chicken. So this has been brining, and what I'm going to do, I've got an Instapot here. You could do crock pot too if you want, but I have got my Instapot. I've got the little rack down in here. And what you're going to do, let me get my cup. Okay, so I'm going to take a cup of the liquid, this brining liquid, okay? And we're going to put it just straight down in the bottom of this Instapot, okay? One sec. And And then I'm going to pick up this chicken, which I hate touching raw chicken.
You want me to do it?
No, Landry's standing here with me. And I'm getting it everywhere, so that's good. Pretty sanitary. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of drain it off. This is actually a pretty big chicken, huh? So you're gonna plop it up in this Instapot on your rack.
Or crock pot.
Or a crock pot. And I don't know if you can tell, for those that know me, you can tell I've lost my voice. I'm just getting it back over the last couple of days. So yeah, that's fun. Okay, chicken's in there. So you saw in my group, I'm doing a giveaway for these seasoning packets. So my friend Lori Carlson does these seasoning packets, and this right here is finger licking chicken is what it's called, and it is one of our absolute favorites. And this is what I use to season my chicken. So I'm doing a giveaway. Y'all be sure and look on that picture that I posted and enter into that. You're gonna get 5 of her seasoning packets, and each one comes with a recipe card. Super simple. The great thing about these are they don't have any anti-caking agents in them. They're gluten-free. There's not any preservatives, anything like that in there. And so super clean. Anyways, so I'm going to season this. She sells this finger licking chicken one in like a single serving or in the bulk size, which is what I have. And so I, out of this bulk one, usually get like 4 chickens. So Landry, I'm just going to eyeball this. I'm the queen of eyeball, so I'll do my best throughout this deal to give y'all measurements of stuff, but so I think she says on here, suggested use 3 tablespoons for a whole chicken. Okay, so I'm gonna eyeball it. Y'all, I'm trying to see who all's on here. Y'all say hi. Anyway, so I am just sprinkling this all over this chicken. Okay, now what are we gonna do? We're gonna put the lid on, and you are gonna put it on high pressure for 40 minutes. That's gonna cook this whole chicken. If you're doing it in the crock pot, obviously you'll add on quite a bit of time on that. So we're gonna close this up. We're going to start it, and then after it's done, I'm gonna pull this chicken. I'm gonna pull all the meat off of the bones, and then the liquid will be down in the bottom. Pull all the bones, and I'm gonna put those bones back in here with the liquid, and then I'm gonna fill my Instapot all the way up to the max line. Fill it all the way, put your lid on, and then you're going to switch it to the slow cooker stage. If you're doing a crock pot, you would just do it on low. For 24 hours, you're going to cook those bones. So those bones are releasing all those awesome nutrients into this liquid. And so in the morning, or when it's been 24 hours, then I'm going to take and I'm going to strain off the bones, take the bones out, and then you have this beautiful broth. And so the broth is so good.
Very good.
Isn't it so good?
We put it in like every...
Yeah, you can come over here where people can see if you want.
Okay.
But yeah, so the broth is super good. This seasoning makes it so good too. But anyways, and then I usually will put it in like a mug and drink it in the afternoons, like a cup a day. It's super good, like if you're sick and you just want to sip on some broth. The other way that I use it is in soups and stews. And so another good way to get in the extra collagen, dump it in a soup.
The soups are really good with that in it. Like really good.
Yeah, so anyways, here's what I'm going to do. When I'm done with this process, I'm going to post some pictures of kind of the step-by-step process, and I'll put it in here in case you're like me and need some steps because you're going to forget. Then I will do that. I'll put them in the comments step-by-step on what you do. So anyways, that's how you do some homemade bone broth. You got anything else you need to add?
No.
All right, well, we look forward to just continuing to kind of help through this process. Again, this is something I'm super passionate about helping, because I know that just by altering some things with the way that you eat can overall help you to feel so much better. I have a slew of health things going on, and I will also do a separate video sometime of kind of that journey of what all is going on. But just in short, from somebody that has autoimmune issues and thyroid disease, and my husband's pre-diabetic. So, I mean, there's lots of things that we have learned over the years to kind of help through all of that. So, and food is a huge way of how you can restore that to help yourself feel better, reduce inflammation, kind of gain that energy back. And so, yeah, I'm excited to kind of share some of that journey with you soon. Anyways, let me know if you try this bone broth and what you think. I get paid absolutely zero from these packets. We just love them so much. Lori is super sweet. Her family, we used to go to church with them when we lived in Houston. And she has a ton of these different meal packets, and every single one that we've tried so far has been amazing. So, and then also, side note, her husband Kai is a functional medicine doctor, and is who really started changing around our health for us. When we found out my husband was pre-diabetic, we went to him, and he helped us a ton just on learning how to change things up for our health. So anyways, super fun couple. Go check out her website. I can also post that in the links. But anyways, I'm gonna quit rambling now. And yeah, y'all have a good rest of your Friday and a good weekend. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.